Hey, cowboy.
What do you want?
Believe it or not, I'm here to warn you.
About what?
Trouble. With a capital T, and that rhymes with D, and that stands for Dorian. So the next thing I know, there's Dorian sitting in the back of my AA meeting, dressed in this ridiculous disguise, hoping that she's going to hear me confess that Charlie's not Rex's father, but you are.
But you kept your mouth shut, because I could send your son to prison if you talk.
He's your son too, Clint, and he's a good man.
He's a swindler. He's a gold digger like his mother. He's gonna try and bring this family down.
No, you're wrong.
About you or Rex?
Rex and your grandson are wonderful people. But you know what? Your loss is Charlie's gain. Because Charlie adores Rex and Shane, and they think the world of him too.
Well, good. Charlie needed a son, I gave him one.
And once Dorian finds out that you somehow managed to fake that DNA test, and when Charlie finds out that I've been lying to him about Rex, it's gonna kill him. Rex can survive the truth, but Charlie can't.
Well, then you better make sure that Dorian never finds out.
Well, you know what? Dorian's not the problem, Clint. I am.
Why?
Because I can't look Charlie in the eye anymore and not feel guilty about lying to him.
Oh, God, you'll get over it.
Clint, don't you ever feel guilty about anything that you're doing?
Guilt is just a waste of time. It's for people who want to wallow in the past.
Really? I thought guilt was about having a conscience.
Well, if feeling guilty could stop people from doing the wrong thing, we'd all be better off. But people do what they want to do, and then they say they feel bad about it, and then they moan and they groan and they cry about it. But what good does all of that do?
So are you saying you do feel guilty?
You told me about Dorian, so you're finished here. You can go now.
I can't, Clint. Not until I find out what the hell happened to that Clint Buchanan I knew all those years ago. He was a tough man, but he knew right from wrong. And he was loyal. Loyal to his family, to his kids, to Vicky. I had to pull out every trick in the book to get you to sleep with me. Back then, you vowed never to be like your father. Well, look at you now.
I've grown since then. People don't stay the same decade after decade. Today, I know more about how the world really works. And now that I know that, I no longer consider it an insult to be like Asa. Far from it.
You have another side, Clint. A better one. Like Bo. Where did that go?
Who are you to talk? You lured me away from Vicky. You framed me for murder. You abandoned your son, my son. Who knows, if I had been able to raise him, things might be a little different right now. But no, you left him at the hospital. So who the hell are you to judge me?
You're right, Clint. I have made a boatload of mistakes.
Mistakes? That's what you call abandoning your son?
And I've hated myself for leaving Rex behind his whole life. But I was helpless to do anything about it. So instead I drank and I partied. And all these years later, nothing's changed. And I am still lying. Only this time I'm lying to Charlie. And I still can't seem to get anything right. Even though I have this second chance with my son and I have this wonderful grandson, but I'm still hitting the bottle to take the edge off my guilt. And I'm using my drinking to get closer to Charlie. A married man. Married to Vicky. Does that sound familiar? I'm going to AA meetings with him. I'm asking him to keep me company when I feel like I want to drink, and why? He's supposed to be my friend.
But he's not.
I'm falling for him. I'm falling for a married man again. I'm ruining Charlie's marriage, and I'm hurting Vicky, and I hate myself for it every minute of every day. Clint, I look at myself in the mirror, and I hated myself those years ago. I hated myself. I couldn't stand the person I was looking back at. So you don't have to tell me who I am. Because I already know. But I know you too. And I know that you suffered. You suffered for the wrong you did to Vicky back then. And I know that you probably looked in the mirror too and didn't like what you saw. You probably can't look yourself in the eye either, but tell me one thing. Do you ever feel that way anymore?
I don't know, Echo. Pa died, and everything just went to hell for me.
What happened, Clint? What turned you so bitter? Was it a lot of little disappointments or one big one?
Disappointment is irrelevant. I'm doing what needs to be done right now.
Picking up the gauntlet? Or the hat your father left behind when he died?
You know something, when Bo and I were kids, we would fight over who would get this and put it on. And be Pa for just a little while. Well, I was bigger, stronger, I knew how to fight dirty, so I almost always won.
Almost always?
Yeah, Bo got the better of me sometimes, but that only made me fight harder the next time. And I'd beat him. I got to be Pa.
Well, it's all yours now, isn't it? So what are you gonna do? Grab your shotgun and march over to Dorian's like your father would have done?
I'm not worried about Dorian, because I know that you're gonna do everything you need to do to keep her from finding out about Rex.
I don't know if I can.
Echo, I'm on to you. You feel guilty and you feel bad, but you're no more willing to tell the truth about Rex than I am, because you have as much to lose as I do. You want Charlie all to yourself, and the only way that you will get him is to keep this a secret.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that you can take care of Dorian. Besides, I've got all the problems I can handle.
You know you don't have to wear that hat. You can hang it back on that hook. You can turn around and walk away. And go back to being the man I used to know.